How you doing? Nate Shaw with the Brooklyn Music Factory. I'm here to tell you a little bit about a great friend, mentor, and teacher, someone who coached me and my business to great new heights, Matt Dolphin. If you're watching this, you're probably considering working with Matt. And I hope you will consider it deeply, because I want to tell you what it's done for my business, and I want to tell you potentially what it could do for yours. I met Matt back in 2014 at ICON. It was my first time there, and I was in a state of, well, I was super hungry. I'd been using Infusionsoft for about a year. I'd been deep under the hood of Infusionsoft, and I'd been working super hard to try to figure out how to get this tool to help grow my business. But as you know, there's tons of information there. There's so many different options, and I desperately needed to know what to do next. I met a ton of people at ICON 2014. I had boatloads of notes on possible things to do. My 30-day action list, my 90-day action list was a mile long. But on the very last day, I met Matthew Dolphin, and in fact, he was by far the most important person that I met at ICON. And I'll tell you why. Because we then left ICON, went to the airport, we were leaving town, we ended up having a 3-hour dinner together, and he told me about ways that he thought he might be able to help me in my business. I ended up signing up and doing a 12-week coaching course with him. We spent an hour a week on the phone. He gave me crystal clear homework each week, lots of writing, lots of thinking, not easy stuff, tough stuff, but anything we're gonna do that's real is gonna take work, right? That's the kind of coach we want. That's the kind of coach Matt is. He's gonna give you concrete things to work on. And let me tell you about what he did for the Brooklyn Music Factory. In 2014, we were in a state of growing our community pretty rapidly, actually. We're a music school here in Brooklyn, New York. We had maybe 160 families that we were serving, multiple kids or students in each family. But as we were growing, things were getting more and more chaotic. And I was looking for ways to automate. I was looking for ways to fix our systems and operations. I had just started reading about how important that was, building systems, but didn't really know about it yet. Matt came along and said, okay, number one, you need to think about what the business is actually doing for you, Nate, right? So I had always thought, I'm gonna just grind it out, work as hard as I can, and I'll fix this business and it'll be amazing. I was always thinking about, it was always a one-way street, thinking about how I could help the Brooklyn Music Factory grow. And I never actually thought, well, what do I want my day to feel like every day? What's gonna actually get me psyched to wake up and work on this place? Or just live my life. So the very first thing that Matt and I did was go through what he calls his magnum opus, which is a series of questions and a pretty dense worksheet, kind of maybe like a 10-page or something, can't exactly remember, but I did lots of writing and journaling before I got to a finished point with that. And what he challenges you to do is get to the point where you can take your entire life and sort of desires and personal mission in life and get it down to just a single sentence, right? And so I'd say I worked for weeks on that. And he was there every step along the way, asking more and more tough questions, saying, really, is that really what you're all about? Is that really what you want? Do you really want to become great at using Infusionsoft? Is that what you imagine your life's goal to be? And of course, for me, no, it wasn't. I just love to geek out on things. So geeking out on Infusionsoft was awesome, and there it was a shiny object that I was spending tons of time on. He was the one who made me realize, Nate, you need to get out of working on Infusionsoft and find someone else to execute on your vision using that tool. But at any rate, that was step one. Step one for me was understanding myself much better so that I could actually help in the most important ways here. Step two was he got me to start thinking in a very organized fashion about every facet of my business, right? So just understanding how this place actually operates, where we needed to start building systems and working procedures or standard operating procedures for each department, the financial department, the faculty and training, teaching, the facility. All of these different things make up this community that is the Brooklyn Music Factory. And each one of them needs to have clear instructions on how that thing is supposed to operate at the highest level. So I discovered right away the most important place for me to start was with my faculty, because at the core of what we do, we provide private lessons and we provide classes. And if those are suffering in any way, well, then everything else doesn't actually matter that much. So he helped me get back to my core point for me as a leader, which was help all of my faculty teach the best possible lesson they can. So I spent a lot of time making videos, writing manuals, writing a teaching guide, these things take time, but Matt helped me understand that's time well spent, right? So systems, operations, getting organized, understanding that I'm not gonna do it all alone, that I need to build a team to help grow this place, was step 2 with Matt. Step 3 with Matt, which is something that I've held on for dear life, honestly, even though, we stopped working together a while ago, though we're back together again, working on a bunch of other projects. Step 3 was just understanding that it's supposed to be simple. There are simple metrics that my business can follow that can guide my decision making, right? So when you look at everything that you need to do as a business owner, it's a massive amount of work. But there are basic metrics that can guide your choices of where you should focus. And Matt helped me understand that within a tool like Infusionsoft, I can create a very simple, clear set of metrics on my dashboard that show me, aha, this is the number of families that I currently have today. This is the number of families at the Brooklyn Music Factory that have been added in the last 7 weeks. This is the number of families that have dropped in the last 7 weeks. Very basic metrics that say, okay, either the business is moving in the right direction or there's a red flag there and I need to take a look at how to help. But he helped me understand to simplify that whole process. And instead of try to get deep in the details, just make it a simple dashboard that I can view daily, weekly, monthly. And that's what I do now. It literally takes me, 5 to 10 minutes to get a quick, clear picture of how well my business is doing. So you're probably considering help. You know you need help, right? Or maybe you don't know you need help. Maybe you think you can just pound it out yourself. Let me be clear about this. Your business will not grow until you understand that you are not going to do it all on your own. Okay? It's not going to grow. You might be able to serve those 10 clients you have, but you're not going to grow beyond those 10 clients. And those 10 clients are also, by the way, going to suffer somewhat because they only get a finite amount of you because there only is a finite amount of you. You need a team and you need to be able to lead and guide that team. Working with someone like Matt helps you understand that, and Matt becomes part of your team. He's your checks and balances. He's the one you're checking in with every week to say, hey, I have this amazing idea. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And he says, wait a minute. What about the project we started last week? How's that going? Show me what you've done on that. Show me how it's helping your business, right? So this sort of chaotic mindset of all the possibilities, working with Matt helps get a lot of clarity there and helps you understand that, you know what, you can have great ideas for the rest of your life, but prioritize now and work on the ones that are going to grow your business. Work on the ones that are going to help you build a bigger team to grow your business. I met Matt Dolphin in 2014 at ICON. It was my first time at an ICON event. I didn't return until 2016 because I had some personal health issues. I couldn't be there in 2015. When I came back in 2016, I came back as a finalist for the Small Business Award. And guess what? Boom, we won ICON 2016 Small Business. And that was mind-blowing to me. If you had asked me in 2014 if there was any chance that the Brooklyn Music Factory would have brought home the W, I would have said no possible way. But to prove it, here's our giant cardboard check, and you can see we've been coloring on it. We are, after all, a kids' music school, so the kids have been decorating it ever since I brought it back. And without a doubt, if you had asked me, would we be holding a massive, giant, huge cardboard check that's colored in crayon? If you had asked me that in 2014, I would have said, before I met Matt Dolphin, I would have said no possible way. But he absolutely helped me get myself, my business partner, my team, and this place to a space where just a couple months ago at 2016 ICON, we were able to show the value of all of those lessons, and it translated into a win. And it's totally shocking and humbling, but get the help. If you're considering working with Matt, I highly encourage you to set up a call with him and see what kind of value it can bring to your business.